I trained for 20 years for this, and it's not an easy journey at all. Like, that's the one thing, if you really do want to do this, that I would say is it's so hard. It's something that you have to be willing to trade your life for. You have to miss family reunions. You can't eat any fun food at Thanksgiving. You have to miss birthday parties. You have to miss like a lot of stuff. I had to miss funerals. There's a lot of stuff that like you have to miss out on. You have to sacrifice. But I've also been at practice 9.5 hours in a day. It's my longest standing practice, but 6 hours was probably the most normal. A lot of times, like I'd leave at 8:30. I'd get home at 6:30 sometimes. I would get home at 6:30, make dinner, shower, and get ready for bed because I needed 10 hours of sleep. And it's that over and over, year after year, day after day. So to be able to even have a shot at the Olympic trials, it's so exciting, but it's also, think about the anxiety of, I've been putting my life on hold for 20 years so that I can maybe make the Olympics.
Yep.
And in the USA, it's really hard to make the team. In 2021, I didn't make the team. If I would have made the team, the scores that made the team would have taken silver at the Olympics that year. So in order to even make the Olympics, you had to have been able to take silver at the Olympics. That's how intense it was, right? So the team is the hardest team to make possible. So you're putting all of the sacrifice for a roll of the dice on if you're going to have a good day that day and if you're going to be top 3 in the country and top 24 in the world.
Was your family, when you're missing family reunions and missing funerals, was your family telling you like, hey, maybe it's time to give this up? Like, was there anybody in your life that was like, you know what, is it worth it? Like, was there anybody saying that to you? Because at the time, nobody knew that you were actually going to make the Olympic team. Yeah,
sure. I think it's kind of, I remember when I left college, not left college, I graduated college and I knew I wanted to keep going. My parents actually sat me down. I sat them down and I said, hey, I'm going to go pro and I'm going to go move to Santa Barbara. And they told me, Chari, we love you, but like, I don't know if this is the choice for you. And I was like, oh, so maybe I didn't make myself clear. I literally said this to him, I'm letting you know that that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm letting you know.
How old were you?
Yeah. I 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was a grown up. I was able to make the decision.
Yeah.
And the thing about my parents is they also don't miss anything, right? Like they come to everything. And guess who moved me to Santa Barbara? My parents.
Aww.
Right? So I think they were one of those things where they had my best interest at heart, but this was a scary thing, right? And they wanted to try to protect me as much as possible. They didn't want me to be disappointed, or they didn't want me to be like lost. They didn't want me to waste my life, right? And then I ended up moving overseas 2 years later to England to go train. And I remember calling my parents and being like, hey, I'm going to move to England. And they were like, listen, you're not good. Like, and they were trying to be right. They were just like, you are wonderful and we love you, but like, I don't know if the Olympics is really like in your future. Right. And so just, it's a lot, it's a big sacrifice. Like, we don't know. And I was like, oh wait, I'm like, maybe I wasn't clear. I'm letting you know that this is what I'm doing. And they were like, okay. And then I went to England, had an amazing time in England, and I let them know after England, I'm moving to San Diego. And they were like, great, we trust you, you're great. And it took them a while to warm up to the idea, but at the end of the day, guess who was at every meet? Guess who came to England? Guess who, you know what I mean? My parents have been there for me the whole way as mentors, but also as supporters. And it kind of just goes to show that you don't have to have everybody's absolutely yes to make the decision, and that doesn't mean they're going to leave you either. You know what I mean? Even your biggest supporters can doubt you sometimes. You have to be the one that believes in you at the end of the day.
You must have to have like a little bit of crazy to like believe. You know, I've heard of that for entrepreneurs and anybody that wants to do something big. Like you literally have to have delusion to be like, I can do this.
Yeah,
like I can be in the top 0.0001%.
Yeah.
But you had it, and then it worked. Like I don't. It's weird because like hearing your parents, like they obviously were looking out for you and wanted the best for you. But it's almost like them telling you no made you like stronger in your beliefs for yourself, and it sounds like it pushed you to be an even better version of yourself in a way.
Sure. And I don't know how you guys feel, but there's something that I think we do as humans where we compare ourselves to other people instead of really looking into what we really believe we can do and leaving other people out of it. And I think, especially when I was younger, something that my parents really did instill in me is my own self-belief in myself. Like, you really can do anything you want. And it had nothing to do with what other people could do. And so they made me who I am. They shaped me who I am.
Yeah.
So my mom even said, I remember one time I was talking to her, she's like, at the end of the day, I raised you as an independent thinker. So like, I'm not surprised that, you know what I mean? I'm not surprised. Like you get it. And even they will say like, we're really glad you didn't listen to us, because they are so proud of me and they're so wonderful. And I adore them. But yeah. And even if I feel like we do call it delusion, right? But I like to think of it as just the lack of comparison.
Yeah.
If we really are willing to it's okay that this person has XYZ, it doesn't mean that should be my journey. And it doesn't mean that can't be my journey. Like other people's success has nothing to do with me. And like my success has nothing to do with, other people. Like it's none of any of our own business. We have to focus on us. And I think that was something that I really had, was just a one-track mind of I can do it. Even it doesn't mean that other people can't. It just means I know I can. I'm in my body and I'm in my brain and I know I can do it.